So what are you doing? How's it going this morning? My name's Dean. This is my little e-bike shop slash garage. So today on my channel, today we're going to go out on a little ride like we usually do around my town here in Florida, and we're going to talk a little bit about the new CYC X1PRO GEN4 mid-drive motor that I've added to my quad. We'll talk about how much I like it. I've cheated a little bit, and off camera I've ridden it around the town a few times, and I've kind of fine-tuned it a little bit to my riding style, and I'll talk about how I did that and different things like that. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I do. This is my pride and joy. This is something that I just absolutely love to do. It makes me happy. Hopefully it'll make you happy as well, following along, seeing all the different things that we go through, riding around the city, talking about different things. So let's do that. I'll get this thing ready and I'll meet you out there in a couple of minutes. So I'll see you out. So today we'll be primarily talking about the CYC X1PRO GEN4. It's the newest motor from CYC, the newest, top motor, the most powerful motor from CYC. I've ridden it a little bit to try to get it tuned in, and it's really tuned in right now. I've used the app, it's called Ride Control app, that was available for the Gen 3 that's on Steven's trike. But I never used the Ride Control app because it's hooked up to the speed sensor. The Bluetooth module is in the speed sensor, and I didn't realize it until I got this motor and I perused the directions, which I never do because I'm one of those guys that don't look at directions. So I never hooked up the speed sensor because on these recumbents you need extension wires for the speed sensors to get down from the motor to the wheels. And I never really cared about them, seeing the looking on the app for the speed, because I have the GPS speed on the app that I follow, that I use on my phone. So I never even hooked up the speed sensors. But come to find out, I should have at least just hooked it up, not necessarily put the magnets on the wheels and did that whole thing to do what it's designed to do, sense your speed, but rather to use the Bluetooth module that's integrated in the speed sensor. So now I have mine hooked up into that Bluetooth module, so I can use the Ride Control app, which is friggin' amazing. It controls everything. Which, I mean, you can do a lot of those type of controls on the display as well, but they're not as user-friendly as they are in the ride control app. They're just I don't know what you call it, a sliding bar. It's real easy. You don't have to use you don't have to be a computer programmer and understand ratios and all this different stuff, which, you know, I'm not. All you have to do is stick your hand on the little dot and move it left or right to increase it or decrease it on each item, you know, on the throttle control, and, you know, how much input you need, and where, you know, how much deadband you want, and how much ramp up, what percentage ramp up you need, and on the soft start, which is amazing, you know, how much or little of that do you need, and how long do you need it for, and oh my God, it's just, you know, it's endless. So it makes it much easier on the drivetrain, for one. It makes it, you know, incredible. It makes it like, you know, I always reference everything back to the Bafang motor, because that was until this one, that was my favorite motor. Because not because how fast it went, because it didn't go as fast as this, didn't have as much power, or any of the other ones that I put on it, just didn't have that much power. I always wanted to put 72 volts in it, and every time I tried to go online to get a module that or I don't know, a controller that would handle 72 volts and was designed for the Bafang motor. Oh, little squirrel. He had a big old piece of bread, but he dropped it. He'll have to go back and get it. Anyway, I could never get the right controller or whatever to make it accept a 72 volt battery. It would just work with my 48 volts. So I kind of dropped that. That's why I went. Or that's one of the reasons why I went with the CYC motor. Or CYC motors. So I kind of, you know, everything is kind of referenced by how cool that was. Because that, you know, I've said it many times, but, you know, that motor was cool because it handled the power great. It just lifted me up and whisked me away. And that's the coolest feeling, you know, when you hit that power, you want it to do exactly that, you know. You want it to feel like there's no effort involved. It just kind of boom, you know, you just take off. And that's what that motor had, and now that's what this motor has. This is just, you know, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I had an issue with the display, and I continue to have an issue with the display, but I've resolved it with just using the display off the one of my displays that I had in the garage from a Gen 2, I think. It works just fine with the Gen 4 motor, so I just went with that. I installed that on here, and it works great. So I'm so happy right now with this thing. It's crazy. It's just this motor was just, it seems like it was designed for me, you know. for this quad, for everything. It's just, you know, it's insanely overpowered. I mean, I'll never use as much power that it has on it, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's nice to have that power available to you. You know? I mean, shoot, I've told you before, I go 20 miles an hour. I go 20 to 25 miles an hour. That's all. I don't need any more. But it can go much, much, much faster. I just don't need it, you know. Since I haven't been on putting stuff up on my channel, on the YouTube channel, I've gone out to the same places to, you know, to try this thing out, and, you know, I've tested this and that just to make sure it was okay, and you know, I've gotten subscribers just because I've been out in the right place at the right time, which is very nice. You know, that's always good for me. You know, makes it lifts my spirits, if you will, because I know people, you know, are liking what they see, you know, like going out to see the kids play baseball, or you know, wherever the families congregate. That's usually where I get some subscribers now. But hopefully, I'll start increasing that a little bit more because of the way that I make my videos, as well as the way that I upload my videos. That's gonna change a little bit also. I mean, you'll be able to see the changes that I make on the videos, but and hopefully you'll like it. It'll be a little bit more mainstream, a little bit more like everybody else does, because it works. And you won't be able to see the way I upload them, you know, the different things that I have to do to the video beforehand, and then afterwards will be a little bit different. So hopefully I'll gain some subscribers that way. I've been watching some you know, YouTubers talking about how they, you know, there's one guy that I kind of like, that seems like, you know, he's kind of real world, tells you how to fix your channel if it's not working right for you, you know. So anyway, we'll see how that works. Oh, here's a little doggy. Hey, bud. Have a great day, all right?
Right.
So anyway, talk a little bit more about the Gen 4. So, well, other than that, just so you know, before I came out, about a week and a half ago, I went through my quad and just, you know, I replaced the brake pads. They needed it, and I didn't even know it. They weren't all the way down, but they needed to be changed. So I changed those. I cleaned it up a little bit. I lubed everything, so it's nice and lubed up. Hey there. So it feels, you know, it feels really nice to ride because everything's nice and slick. So I did some maintenance like I should, you know, do periodically, and I pretty much don't. I wait till everything's all the way without grease and then go and, you know, change it drastically. So anyway, that's what I've done, and it's made it really nice. I adjusted the rear chain so it's a little bit tighter than it was before, and that's made a huge difference as well. So hopefully that will keep everything going well, you know. We'll see anyway. Hey guys. So the Gen 4, the difference between the Gen 3 and the Gen 4 for me was more power and a significant amount more power just out of the box without getting any kind of different controller or anything, and I liked that. And then also it feels better. It's much smoother. It's not as I don't know what you call it, jumpy, jerky when you hit the throttle. And that, listen, that might be because of the ride control app. But I think it's kind of a combination of what they've done and hey guys, with what they've done with the ride control app and also the motor. So I think it's kind of a combination, but that's, you know, that's good. It makes it feel just so much better. I mean, it's just so much better. When I let's see, how do I explain it? When I start out from a stop and I use the torque sensor, it has also has an integrated torque sensor where you don't have to hook up you don't have to hook it up. It's integrated, so you don't have to worry about that wire breaking or anything like that. But when you start up, you can, well, the way that I do it is I start pedaling and give it a little bit. I mean, I have it set where I hardly have to give any pressure on the actual pedals, but I start out with a little bit of pressure on the pedals, and as soon as the motor kicks in, I give it just slightly, a little bit of throttle, and what that does is it allows me just to take off really smoothly. Most of the time, I'm still kind of getting used to it, so every once in a while it gets a little bit jerky, but it's okay, I don't care. I'm getting used to it, and I'll get it down real good. I've come a long way, that's for sure, with that, but it makes it feel really good, you know, to starting off, where before it wasn't like that at all. It kind of lunged forward much more when I used the pedals at all, and it just wasn't as smooth as it should have been. So it's much better now. So that's one thing. The other thing is, And I'll do another little video on the Gen 3 on my son's trike. Hey there. Just to kind of tell you about the differences between them. You know, it's been a while since I've ridden his. So the other thing is when I'm riding, like now, you know, when I'm going and I'm, you know, the motor kicks off because I've taken my hand off the throttle because I'm going fast enough, so it kind of coasts or whatever. When I start up again, it's not, I don't have to be as careful pressing the throttle, you know, to start up again. Because of this, I guess it's because of the soft start. It's just, it starts, it sounds like it starts fast, but it just, as soon as it touches the, as soon as it hits resistance from the derailleur or from the rear cassette, it kind of stops and goes easy by itself, instead of me having to be really, really touchy with the throttle. And all the other one, well, the Gen 3, when I had it on here, I had to be really careful, and I snapped stuff real easy because it just wasn't that way. And it may have, oh, wait a second. Oh, it just came off the front. How did it come off the front? All right. Let's fix this, shall we? That's weird. I haven't had that come like that for a long time. Let's see if I can get this baby back on there. Get it up here. Up here. Up there. Back on it. Come on now. Come on. I'm not going back on. Well, back up there. Come on. What's the problem? All right. One in there. Right there. There. Okay, so that's on there. Right here. I can't see. It's on there. Looks like it's this back up here. There we go. Let's get this going a little bit. Everything's hitting everything else. Hopefully you're still pointed in the right direction. Let's see here. Come on. It looks like it's alright. Yeah, looks like it's alright. Let's see. Just want to get back on this sucker. Everything wants to. That's better. All right. Haven't had that happen in a while. Anyway, all right. What was I talking about? Hopefully that stays back on. So, I don't remember what I was talking about. I don't know. Anyway, the bottom line is this thing is friggin' amazing. That's the bottom line, right? Just getting it tuned in is what all that I really need to, handle with it. The alignment, which is what that was there, I've had to tweak a little bit, and the alignment on the rear chainring. Oh my God, that's been a nightmare since I've started with it. I think I have that right, so now of course this has to act up a little bit. Oh, hello, birdie. Hi. Giving me a guided tour. Oh, he's got something in his mouth, it looks like. Having a nature tour. Oh, there's his buddies. Hi, guys. So, anyway, this thing is it's amazing. It's just given me so much pleasure. It's given me a couple of headaches, but that's kind of expensive. Expected, not expensive. It is expensive, but it's expected. But it's also given me, that feeling back. And that's what it's all about, riding these things. Just getting that feeling. That happiness back. Let's see if there's anything else that I can talk about. I have put it on the boom instead of underneath my butt, because it's just easier for me to set it up with the chains and all that stuff. It's just easier. You don't have to use 3 chain rings like I have in the past when I had the Gen 2 on here. When I had it under my butt, I had to put an extra chain ring, a 3rd chain ring on it when it was under my butt. Now I don't have to do that. I just have to have 2 under my butt and 2 on the front to align the whole right side of this thing with the derailleur in the back. So it makes it easier. What a beautiful day out here. It's a little windy, a little bit chilly, but that makes it really nice, actually. Instead of being 400 degrees out here, it's 70 something. And that's nice. I really like that. More like San Diego weather, where I grew up. So besides being pleasant, it's kind of reminiscent also. Is that the right word? Reminiscent? It's just nice all around. And that's just something I crave when I go out on a nice ride. I still have the 40 amp hour battery on here. I've been planning on swapping it because I have the 50 amp hour sitting on the floor in the garage. They had something to do with the display not working on the Gen on this one, because I tried everything and nothing worked, but it was actually the display, or at least that's what we thought. So I haven't put that back yet. I'll put that back soon, because this one gives me 2 or 2.5 hours, depending on how I'm riding. But the other one will give me more than that. So I want to be able to do, like I've said time and time again, whatever I want. So, I mean, that's what this thing was designed for. So, the 50 amp hour gives me that option to be able to do absolutely, whatever I want. And it's nice to be able to just kind of go like that, whenever I need to or want to. And this motor gives me that option, Get up and go, or just cruise, or both. Which I do more often, On the long stretches, I give it a little juice, and on, just going here or there, or on the sidewalk, I don't give it as much. Just because of the bumps and stuff like that. He was flying, trying to get to that green light, so I thought I'd let him through. The nice thing of me to do. The neighborly thing for me to do. And, it's a big truck. I didn't want to get squished. Let's see. Huh? I think we'll start back up. Maybe at the park if there's people up there. So we'll see you in a sec. Okay. Well, what did you guys think? I didn't film the park, either of the parks. I went by both actually, to see if anybody was there. because I love going by and seeing all the families, the kids playing baseball, and all the families together and having a good time together. I just really enjoy that, and hopefully you like that kind of stuff too. Although I wasn't able to catch anybody out there this time at either park, which is, I wanted to, but I wasn't able to. In either case, hopefully you enjoyed it, what we had of a ride, and you got a little bit out of, the new CYC motor that I have. You kind of understand how great it is, because it's one of those things that it's finally the motor that I always wanted. And hopefully I conveyed that to you. Hopefully you understood that by what I talked to you about and all that. It's just, it's the best one yet. So anyway, thank you very much for you guys for coming along with me today. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. I hope you have a great day or night or morning or whatever it is, wherever you're from. And I'll see you next time.